Kate, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite books of 2016 in June of 2017, which makes perfect sense, right? 2016 was kind of an amazing reading year for me because I loved and fell in love with so many of the books that I read. So I picked out 10 of these books as my favorites, and I kind of put them in an order, but it's like a loose order because I don't know, I'm really indecisive and I'd probably change it like every time I look at it. Number 10 on this list-ish is The Curious Incident of the Dog at Nighttime by Mark Haddon, which is about a boy named Christopher Boone who has Asperger's syndrome, and the struggles of his life and dealing with his condition, and how it makes his everyday life so much more difficult than it is for other people. Because people don't understand him. I really love this book because it exposed me to disorder that I never would have known anything about if I hadn't read this, and it not only taught me about it, but it taught me about what it's like to be someone who has it and what it's like to be misunderstood. And the book itself has really cool prose, if I remember, because I read this like the beginning of 2016, so that's over a year ago. But if I remember correctly, it has very simplistic and straightforward prose, which matches the idea of the book and of his mind very well. Because even though he thinks very like straightforward and like in routines and such, he's very passionate and he does care about everything around him. Number 9 is The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. This is Jandy Nelson's first book. Her more popular book is I'll Give You the Sun, which I still have yet to read. I kind of forgot that I had that book, and everybody raves about that one, but not too many people have read this book. And I kind of wanted to read her books in chronological order because I have a feeling that the other one I'll probably enjoy more than this one, so I wanted to see the progression of her writing. So this book is about a girl named Bailey who is dealing with a lot of grief because her sister passed away. Oh wait, I said her name was Bailey. This has been so long since I read it. Her name is Lenny. Her sister's name is Bailey. Bailey is the one who passed away. Man, I need to get my stuff together. The gist of it is Lenny's trying to find a way to cope with her grief, and she's not really succeeding very well, and she ends up having to, well, she has a thing with two different guys. One is Joe, and the other is Toby. See, I remember like what happened, I just don't remember any of the specifics, but basically they both offer something different to her in a different way of dealing with the grief, and she has to choose which way is the most healthy and the best for her. I really love this book because it was very real, and the characters, well, not all the characters, but I really like Joe as a character, and I felt that he kind of made it all come together. And so because I love this book, I'm kind of excited to read I'll Give You the Sun and see how it compares, and hopefully I like that one too. Number 8 on this list is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. This is a book that everyone raves about, and for good reason, because it's really good. I kind of had really high expectations going into it because of all the hype for it, but it lived up to it surprisingly. It's a very like cheesy, corny, girly book, but it's very funny as well. And I think the humor and the spirit of the book and the characters and their interactions with each other is really what makes it so good. And I also read the sequel, P.S. I Still Love You, but I think the original is probably still the best. But I haven't read the third one yet, and I probably will soon. But I don't know, I just really love the series because of how applicable it is to like the teenage life of nowadays. Even though it's not entirely realistic, it's still, I don't know, it's like idealized high school. Number 7 on this list is An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. I love John Green, and I know a lot of people don't because they say that all of his books are kind of the same, like with their tropes and stuff, but I don't know, even though you could do that if you really like analyze it, I kind of think that everyone is unique, and even though all the characters, there's like a love story, I just find the humor in John Green's books to be so unique and something that I can't find in any other book. And I still have like 2 of his books to read. I think I haven't read Looking for Alaska or Let It Snow, and so I'm so close to finishing his books, but I savor each one because they're such a unique experience for me, at least, because obviously we read all these books, but in his books I find something so real. I don't know if it's because like his sense of humor is the same as my sense of humor or whatnot, but For some reason, it just really clicks with me. I forgot to even like talk about this book. It's about this guy named Colin who's dated 19 different Catherines. And it's about kind of breaking that streak, but he's trying to find like an equation for, what is it? He's trying to prove the theorem of underlying Catherine predictability. So he's basically a brainiac, a prodigy who's trying to figure out why he only dates Catherines. Number 6 on this list is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. Obviously, I just kind of am obsessed with Cassandra Clare's books. I can't talk. Cassandra Clare's books. Because The Infernal Devices is one of my favorite series ever, just because I fell in love with that series, and it's part of the reason that I love reading so much. And so any new Cassandra Clare book just makes me so excited. I loved the entire book. It kept me like on the edge of my seat and just wondering what's going next. But the only thing, like the only complaint I have on this book, which I know you shouldn't talk about like your complaints in your favorite books of a year, but whatever, is the ending. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like she's so dumb. Emma is so dumb at the end. Like she could easily fix the situation in so many different ways, and then she just finds this BS way of dealing with it, and I just don't understand her. But anyways, but for me, it's very interesting in this book to watch all the characters from the previous series come back and to resurface, and that's the most enjoyable part, honestly, because I love Tessa and Will and Jem. Seeing them come back in different ways in Lady Midnight is so fun, and it just tugs at my heartstrings. I love it so much. Number 5 on this list is Lady Midnight. This is not Lady Midnight. Oh my god, what am I doing? Number 5 on my list is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. Sarah J Maas is my favorite author, and anything she writes, I'm going to love, like, automatically. I mean, of course, I'm gonna judge it just like I judge all other books, but it's basically a shoo-in that it's gonna be one of my favorite books. For me, The Assassin's Blade, it was such an insightful look into why Selena became the way that she was and why she has the personality that she does. As everyone says, the most enjoyable part about this book is Sam. Sam was so pure and so good, and his intentions were just, oh my gosh, I can't even express this. He didn't deserve anything, and he got treated awfully, obviously. I better stop talking because that's not a good path to go down for me. Number 4 on my list is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. This is a huge phenomenon right now because of the movie that came out, and just because everybody loves this book, and for good reason, because it makes you cry a lot. This book is so unique because there's a lot of books about the Holocaust, there's a lot, but none of them are told from the perspective of death, which brings in a whole different side to it and a whole different morbid nature to the book, but it's heartbreaking in the best way. And I don't know, if you haven't read this book, it's kind of a must read. Like, everybody needs to read this book just because of how moving it is and how awful it is, but awful in a good way. It's just read it. Number 3 on this list is Frozen Tides by Morgan Rhodes, because I love the Fallen Kingdom series. I still have to read Crystal Storm, and I got it a long time ago, so I don't know why I haven't read it yet, but I can't remember which one was my favorite in the series. I just put Frozen Tides because it's the last one that I read. Morgan Rhodes has a way with plot twists. She just throws them in there, and you're just knocked off your feet. Like, I don't know how she does it, but I think this series is very interesting because of the way that the characters' relationships are so fragile, and not everybody gets along. Like, there's a lot of book series where it's like, oh, everybody's friends, everybody helps each other, and that's not the case with this series. Like, all the characters have very intricate relationships with each other, and not everybody is going to help everybody, and there's going to be a lot of conflict between them, and that's what makes it so interesting, is because they're all so different, and they all come from different backgrounds, and I think that variety is what makes the series so interesting for me. Number 2 on this list is Empire Storms by Sarah J Maas. We're back in the Maas zone. This series has evolved so much. What this series started as, like a female assassin working for the king, or trying to work for the king, I suppose, is not anything like what it is now. Because now okay, I can't spoil. Oh my god. But it's like, here's the scope of the first book, and then like, here's the scope of this book. It's ridiculous because the characters grew. There's far more characters now. And then not only that, but Selena is no longer who she was, and I'm trying so hard not to spoil, but she has grown infinitely, and she's no longer even like close to the same person that she was. These characters are so dear to my heart. I think all characters in all Sarah J Maas books are very close to my heart. But I can't wait to see where the series goes in the next book. So my favorite book of 2016 is pretty clear if you've seen like any of my videos ever, but it's A Quarter of Mr. Fury by Sarah J Maas, which I'm sure this is probably like everybody's favorite book of 2016, but I didn't really watch very many of those videos, so I need to get caught up, obviously. This book is so good. I don't even know where to begin. If we're talking about a transformation, I thought that I had everything figured out in the first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I thought I was like, oh, I love this character. You need to get away. You need to stay. Like, I thought I had everything figured out, and I thought everything was going to be great in the next book. And then this happened, and my expectations here, and then, okay, this is like right side up, and then it was like, woo! Basically, this book changes everything in the whole series in the best way possible, because this is everything I didn't know I needed with this series, and Rhysand is my favorite character in the whole world, and I don't think anything is ever gonna change that, because he's so good. He's so amazing in every way possible. He's perfect, okay? This book is pretty saucy. It's saucy in a good way. You just have to like either get used to it or like skim over it if you're pretty sensitive about that. It's so good. I'm reading the third one now, and it's amazing. Like, I don't understand how she writes books this real, and I feel like I'm in Prithia and like the world. I feel like I'm going through this adventure with them, and well, not really an adventure, it's more of a war. Just the fact that these books are able to do that for me is remarkable, and I have reread passages of this book countless times, and I don't think it will ever get old for me. I think this book will be something that I can reread and reread and reread, and I will still love it and feel like it's a new experience every time. And I don't reread books. I don't do that. But I reread this book all the time. So that's all for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye!